Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Feel Good Fridays. Coming live straight at you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, your hosts, Polly and Bags. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Feel Good Fridays. I'm Polly.
And I'm Bags.
And today, folks, we're going to talk about a level of leadership we find important. But before we get into that, just wanted to shout out anyone that's impacted by all the Canadian fires out there. The pictures I've seen, absolutely insane. So please be safe out there. Stay indoors where possible. And hopefully this all passes us very, very soon. But Bags, why don't we get into what we're going to talk about today? So why don't you share with the group what we're going to accomplish today?
Yeah, no, Paulie, I agree with you. Hopefully everybody's doing okay out there with the fires. But for today's subject, it's probably one that there's a lot of fear, a lot of the stomach wavering and things of that nature. It's public speaking and how to help your team and develop them and help them from the ums and the likes and the uhs when they're talking, right? How can you help your team develop into that section? So that's a really important subject that a lot of people don't want to put their toe into the pool when it comes to talking to big groups in front of their peers and things of that nature. So it's definitely something as leaders we can help them with and develop a plan to get them over that hump and that fear of public speaking.
No, absolutely. And it's one of the things that I'm currently working on. I say a lot, right? And I'm humble enough to say it. I mean, just listen to any of our previous podcasts. You'll hear me say more than 5 times during the episode. So it's just one of those things I'm working on. So, but before we get to best practice, I'll share a personal story of mine of where I used to present in front of a crowd and a leader called me out on a certain thing I was doing, and I course corrected and no longer do it. So it was moving around too much, right? I'm high energy. So when I presented in a group, I'd always go to the back of the room, to the front of the room, side to side, use my hands a lot. And really, I moved around way too much. So I had a previous leader of mine actually videotape me and made the comment, like, if you move around this much, people are going to start focusing on, where you're going to go next or what's your next movement going to be with your hands versus the message that you're trying to deliver. So that really hit home with me, and he gave me some advice, which was the old plant and pivot. And what you do is you plant your 2 feet in front of the room, you plant them, and you don't move them. What you do is you pivot to the left side of the room, to the center of the room, and then to the right side of the room. Make eye contact with multiple people, different people every time you pivot. So plant and pivot, if you're that type of person that just goes back and forth, jumps up in the air, uses your hands, going, blah, blah. Plant and pivot. What else you got, Bags? What other tips you got out there?
Yeah, I would say for myself personally, when I was younger, when I went to a Catholic school, when it was our turn in church to do readings or, the petitions, I used to fear that like the plague. I just wanted to take the communion up to the thing because I didn't want to talk in front of the whole school, reading whatever it was. To be 100% honest with you, I don't know where the course of my life where it changed. Even in school, I remember in college doing presentations, felt a little bit more comfortable. But again, I don't know where it changed, where talking to people in public in large groups, I actually really enjoy it. And I think the one key thing that really helps me out is I have to be passionate about the subject I'm talking about. That helps to avoid the fillers and things of that nature. You can use your voice and your tone for inflections, things of that nature. I know you like to do the plant and pivot. I'm a big advocate of moving around so I can deliver my message, change my tone of voice, go talk to people, stand next to them, make sure they're engaged in the conversation. So I use that to my strengths as well. But again, I got to be passionate about it. And I play through my head, and I even talk about it out loud on how I'm going to use my enunciation, how I'm going to use my tone, how to deliver certain things throughout the course of time leading up to that presentation or that message I have to deliver through in the car, out loud, whatever it might be, is some of the things that really help me when it comes to public speaking. But again, you have to really, in my opinion, be passionate about the message you're delivering or the speech or the conversation or the topic. Because at the end of the day, if you're doing that, you're going to give it your whole heart and ability where you won't even think about the nerves. You're just going to start to deliver the message the best you possibly can.
No, absolutely. And my family, particularly my oldest son, laughs at me because I usually pace outside in the driveway. day before I got to deliver a presentation, I deliver the presentation to thin air. And I still remember that one day he came up to me. He's like, "Who are you talking to, Dad?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm doing my presentation. I'm practicing, right? You know how I tell you all the time that practice makes perfect? Well, you got to practice your craft. So any presentation, don't wait to the day of the presentation to do it for the first time. Make sure you're presenting like you're actually presenting, even if it's by yourself, even if it's with your spouse. Trust me, doing it to your spouse, she or he's going to laugh at you so hard. Like, just try it. Trust me on that one. Mark my word on that one. But yeah, practice, repeat, and you'll find that when it does come time to present, the information just flows. It comes natural. And to your point, get some passion involved with that. It really drives home the message, and changing your tone throughout the presentation as well helps keep people engaged. And then, getting that interaction from the crowd during presentations as well helps keep people engaged, right? Because statistically speaking, people can retain 10%, 15% of the information that you go over during a presentation. So asking open-ended questions to the audience, and sometimes you got to go, "Hey, this is the interactive part, team," right? So sometimes you got to hold their feet to the fire. But look, Bags, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I was going to say too, just with the fillers, again, helping the people you're responsible for, making them aware. A lot of times people aren't aware of the words that they use, because when they use those filler words, they're thinking. Those are stopgaps to think about what they're going to say next. So they have no idea that they're doing it. As you mentioned, in the past, somebody tape recorded you or videotaped you. That's something maybe you could do to help out one of the people on your team that you're leading, to say, "Hey, let me record you and let's break it down together after." And that way they're like, "Wow, I didn't even realize I was doing that." So again, if they're not aware of something, how are they going to get better from it? So again, I think just showing it to them, the video, the playback, will really be beneficial to anyone you're trying to help develop that public speaking skill set that they might be missing in their leadership ability.
Yeah, even record yourself, right? What's the harm in that? So, look, a lot of good information. I'm sure there's 100 different other things out there, which leads me to my next thing. Please write in the comments what some of the ways that you deal with public speaking, and how you coach, teach, train that to others, or what's some things that you're working on improving for your own self. Maybe there's others out there that can help you out as well. So with that being said, that's a wrap for today's episode. As always, if you missed any previous episodes, be sure to head to our YouTube channel at Feel Good Fridays Podcast, or just by searching Paulie and Bags. If you're on the go, you can listen to us as well. We're on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your pods. We're on all kinds of platforms these days. So until next week, ladies and gentlemen, as always, take care
and water your grass.
Thank you for tuning in to Feel Good Fridays. If you want to stay up to date with our podcast releases and upcoming material, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. I'll wait. You didn't do it yet. Go ahead. I'm still waiting. Could you do it? Definitely check us out on our TikTok for special announcements and possible giveaways. Both can be found by searching at Feel Good Fridays Podcast. Thank you, and make it a great day.